Good morning. I am Mrs. Sendamarai, MSc, MPhil, B.Ed. I am basically a biology teacher. I had an experience of 18 years. Today we are going to discuss a topic cell. Cell, we all know, it is a fundamental unit of every living organisms. This cell is considered to be the basic unit of all living things. The cell was first discovered by Robert Hooke in the year 1665. After that only, we all know about the importance of cell. From unicellular organisms to multicellular organisms, the cell itself perform all the important functions. Suppose if we take unicellular organisms, for example amoeba, this entire body of amoeba itself made up of a single cell. So, it is a typical example of unicellular organism. In case of unicellular organisms like amoeba, the cell itself performs all the functions. If we take multicellular organisms like Paramecium, Euglena and other upgraded organisms, it is the body made up of many cells. So, each and every cell performs their function. In case of unicellular organisms, the single cell itself performs all the function. In case of multicellular organisms, individual cells perform their function. Now next we are going to see the structure of a typical cell. So if we take a typical cell, here we take a typical animal cell. Animal cell, if we take the structure, the cell is made up of outer limiting membrane that we call it as plasma membrane. This plasma membrane is a double-walled or double-layered membrane. It is also a protective membrane. It protects all the cell organelles inside the cell. And this main function of this membrane is it allows certain materials to enter inside the cell and allows some materials to pass outside the cell. Hence, it is called a semi-permeable membrane. Now, if we take the inside, there is the internal part of the cell. The center part of the cell, we come across nucleus, which is considered to be the brain of the cell. Inside this nucleus, we come across a thread-like structure, that what we call it as chromosomes. These chromosomes only contains the important material, that is DNA. DNA is nothing but deoxyribonucleic acid, which is called the genetic material, which plays an important role in passing the information from one generation to another generation. That is, the genetic information is passed from one generation to another generation. Hence, by performing this function, nucleus is considered to be the brain of the cell. Now, in between plasma membrane and nucleus, we come across a matrix part that we call it as the cytoplasm. It is a granular portion, and inside the cytoplasm, we come across certain important cell organelles. I list out these cell organelles: mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, vacuoles and lysosomes. These are some of the important cell organelles, and these organelles perform important functions. For example, if we take ribosomes, the main function of the ribosome is it is involved in protein synthesis. Suppose if we take this endoplasmic reticulum, this endoplasmic reticulum is found between the plasma membrane and nucleus. It is found attached to the wall of the plasma membrane and nucleus. In other words, we can say it is the connective pathway for this nucleus and plasma membrane. And this endoplasmic reticulum is of two types, rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The difference between these two is in rough endoplasmic reticulum, these ribosomes are found, whereas these ribosomes are absent in smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Next, the cell in another important organelle, that is mitochondria. It is considered to be the powerhouse of this cell. Why it is called so means, it stores the energy-rich molecules, that is the ATP molecules. ATP molecules are nothing but adenosine triphosphate molecules, which are energy-rich molecules, which is necessary for performing the cellular activities. Next, Golgi apparatus, it is considered to be the storage organ. That is, food particles are stored in this Golgi apparatus. Now, this is a general outline of a typical animal cell. If you take plant cell, it has slight difference. That is, animal cell, it has a plasma membrane. But this plant cell, instead of this outer membrane, it is composed of the cell wall. The cell wall is absent in animal cell. It is present in plant cell. That is the main difference. And the important cell organelle like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, these are all present in plant cell. But plastid, which is another important cell organelle which is found only in plant cell, but it is absent in animal cell. These plastids are involved in pigmentation, that is chloroplast, lycoplast, these the coloring pigments which gives color to the plants, but it is absent, it is completely absent in animal cell. And vacuoles also present, but vacuoles are larger in plant cell, but when compared to animal cell. And another important thing is, that is this plant cell, the cell wall I said before that, this cell wall is made up of cellulose, which is starch rich particles, but this is absent in animal cell. So if we take cell organelles individually, they all perform important functions that can be studied in detail in the next chapter, that is upcoming chapters. Hope you have all understood this topic. Thank you for giving this opportunity.